Rock music is nowhere. Really? I don't know where it is. If it's around, no one's invited me to the party.
You were permanently banned from the party when you said you had moves like Jagger. By the time this video airs, Maroon 5 is still planned to be performing live at the Super Bowl 53 halftime show. I can sit here and make a bunch of jokes on how no one else wanted to work with the NFL, or how the NFL is so out of touch that they chose Maroon 5, or that no one else wanted to work with Maroon 5 after they announced it, but there have been plenty of other people that have done that already. Not only that, but after Mr. Levine's interview with Variety, many big names in rock and metal politely argued with the man on his view, along with roughly a few 100,000 other people on Twitter. Stupid comment about rock being boring and not being invited to the party. Maroon 5 has proven their success and have been around for a long time. In the mid-2000s, Maroon 5 was a decent pop rock band with successful album songs about Jane and It Won't Be Soon Before Long. This was at a time where Maroon 5 would experiment in style, fusing funk and pop in with their rock sound, and it worked well. Being totally honest, back between 2002 and 2005, Maroon 5 rode that perfect line between pop and rock. They were the definition of a pop rock band, and they were really good at doing that. But as the years went on, fame got to the band and they became the background music for sitcoms and the fashionable band for the ladies. We then saw Maroon 5 gleefully walk away for any style in rock and go into full pop mode. That would be fine if that's their choice and they would do it well, but the problem is that their attitude was so high of themselves that one member even compared himself to Mick Jagger. So the years went on, Maroon 5 became a band to make money and look good while doing it, and even occasionally playing music using their own instruments on stage. It wasn't until 2010, however, where a lot of their problems started becoming exposed. And then in 2012, where they made the biggest sellout of their lives with Overexposed. I'm at a payphone trying to go home. This album is picture-perfect proof of when a band completely gives up on the art form and is in it for fame and money. Maroon 5 in a nutshell. We can scoff and complain about how real music should be made, but Maroon 5 made a boatload of cash from Overexposed. The album not only went platinum in the United States as well as platinum and gold in several other countries, but Overexposed also produced 4 singles that went platinum several times over each. This album was huge. So many people were willing to spend dollars at a time on iTunes to download the singles. They had money coming in from every direction, especially from their biggest supporters. And Maroon 5's biggest supporters of all? The soccer moms. Oh yes, there is no denying the fan base of Maroon 5. Every woman who has ever demanded to speak to the manager in the year 2012 also loved Maroon 5 at one point. I can't even imagine how many karaoke nights at bars across the nation have been ruined by Helens and Karens, all wishing those love songs written by Adam Levine and company were aimed at them. We will soon be hearing those soccer moms all singing along with the Super Bowl halftime show for the NFL's most controversial time period ever. With all the turmoil and controversy that the NFL is in, and after many artists declined to perform at the halftime show, we will be hearing Maroon 5. Overexposed would normally be out of the range for this channel, but there is a good reason I think this is worth regretting, and that I'll get into later. And in order to do that, we have to really go track by track and listen to what Maroon 5 has to offer, and realize that all of their talents may not have been up to par with the success they've reached. And then realize Overexposed is not just an album title. It's the perfect definition of Maroon 5. Let's get to it. Well, it's not gonna take long to figure out this band was overexposed and not having enough talent. The album opens up with literally everything I've said about Maroon 5 cashing in their chips as a musical act and just relying on music editors and engineers. To go over some stats, this was the second single to come from Overexposed. One More Night charted in dozens of countries, made several year-end charts, and is ranked currently at number 11 on Billboard's all-time pop songs. This chart goes back to 1958. Of every pop song to ever come out, Billboard has this ranked for various reasons at number 11. Of all time. What? On top of that, this song went gold and platinum in many nations. How did it sell so well? It went 6 times platinum in the United States.
What?
I get it, he's a handsome man, and this song got fast attention on the Today Show and whatever other mom TV shows would actually plaster this song in the background of. But over 6 million single sales? Who are these people that throw money away like that? And putting all that aside, the song is garbage. It's awful. I can't even tell if that's actually Adam Levine singing because his voice is so digitally auto-tuned that it could be anyone. The lyrics are cheese with a cross my heart and hope to die stuff. But the most infuriating part? The biggest hook of the song was ripped off from another song.
You ripped off DuckTales, you bunch of hacks!
Don't even act like you don't hear it either. That was done decades before in the exact tone at the end of a line. You stole from Disney. If the songwriters knew about this, they would sue you into the Stone Age. The music sounds like it was made with GarageBand pre-recorded instrument bits. Adam sounds like a robot, and this song sold enough to fill up a Scrooge McDuck money bin. Oh, you don't like me interrupting with the woo? Well, why not? Because apparently people loved it when Maroon 5 did. This isn't even supermarket music now. It's literally a flash in the pan moment of music history that no one references anymore, but somehow this was the biggest thing ever back in 2012.
I can't even imagine how much drunk mom karaoke was done to this song. Tons of moms completely plastered, giving the off-key woos, while the Applebee's waiter staff is all crying their eyes out in the corner because they hate their job and they have to listen to bad Maroon 5 all night. I'm at a payphone trying to go home, all of the change I spent on you. It was back then in 2012 when I heard this song, I realized Maroon 5 was totally willing to walk over any past style or sound they had in order to get that cash money. And I can make fun, but they got it.
This song has gone 7 times platinum in the United States and multiple times platinum in many other nations around the world. What was everyone thinking? 2012 wasn't that destitute of music wasteland where this was something that should have been bought like it was the next Bohemian Rhapsody.
I just compared Maroon 5 to Queen.
I will say this, of all the over-sweetened candy pop that Maroon 5 has written, this song isn't terrible on the lyrics side. It's by far the best on Overexposed. I mean, I'm not cringing at what's being said or even reading over the lines. I'm beside myself with why Levine is singing through some Pro Tools voice mood concoction, though. Listen to his voice.
If happy ever after did exist, I would still be holding you like this. You remember Yakbacks? Yeah, it sounded like they recorded the audio on one of those.
If you are wondering why I have a problem with Maroon 5 and them selling out, here's another reason. Look at the list of names involved in making this song. How much more help do you need to write your own song and make it sound good?
I just know there will be one commenter that goes, well, where's your multi-platinum selling singles and album, blah, 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 blah. I at least didn't sell out worse than the Black Eyed Peas. This is shameful. And when the daylight comes, I'll have to go, but tonight I'm gonna hold you so close. Regardless of whether you like Coldplay or not, Maroon 5 really ripped off Coldplay here.
This is a cross between selling out and ripping off another artist. You can hear it all over. Coldplay and WMG should be suing someone. However, I cannot listen to Viva La Vida right now. I have to listen to Overexposed, and instead of the piano and acoustic guitars, I have to hear whatever instrument is being played here. They really have the automated digital keyboard working overtime. But hey, that's what the teeny boppers and the drunk soccer moms wanted back then.
I know I'm hard on the drunk mom rock and the soccer moms. I'm not sorry, I'm just acknowledging that. I mean, come on, these moms made Hinder and Buckcherry famous. And they also made this piece of trash by Adam Levine and friends really big. So my anger's warranted.
This completely emotionless music loop knockoff song went 2 times platinum in the United States and charted like crazy around the world. In 2012, we apparently needed a Coldplay fix, and the closest thing that people could find was this bland track. I've had hospital food with more flavor in it than the song Daylight. And if you can't hear the Coldplay influence, yes, I'm aware I'm being polite by calling it influenced by Coldplay. Listen to this section and see if you can hear it.
So far, the influences of Overexposed are Coldplay and DuckTales. Good job, guys, getting real creative.
lucky strike.
Okay, is this song more proof of Maroon 5 cashing in on dance hits and abandoning their original sound? Yes. But this one so far is at least a listenable song. I know that still sounds like I'm ripping it apart, but I can at least see the positives in Lucky Strike.
That might be the most optimistic I've ever been on Regretting the Past.
It at least has a good rhythm and is slightly reminiscent of that funk style they possessed in their earlier days. It also didn't just take an entire football team and backups worth of people to write and create. You can hear guitar work, the rhythm isn't grating. I mean, I make fun, but this song really isn't terrible. I can at least see why people would like the rhythm and hooks of it. Lucky Strike also charted a bit and was certified gold. Wow, even the cast-off singles and throwaway tracks demanded people to hit up iTunes back then. Sorry, honey, can't buy you lunch today. Mom has got to buy this song by Adam Levine singing about sexy time.
That's all this song is too. Just the chorus alone is enough to prove that. You're my lucky strike. Not exactly the most romantic serenade, but if the guy is good looking enough, he can sing anything and someone will love it. I can end the video right now on that comment, and that describes Maroon 5 perfectly. No, I don't hear the Coldplay comparison at all. What are you talking about?
This is kind of an eye-opening listening experience in 2019, not just because this is a bad pop album disguised as music by a former rock band meant to be played in grocery store overheads, but it's eye-opening because they aren't even trying to hide that this isn't their own idea. Levine is as much of a songwriter as Carlos Mencia is a joke writer. Fun fact, the man who never lied charted in South Korea, and nowhere else. I don't know why. They have K-pop. Even the weirdest broken English K-pop song would be better than this. There's a good drum beat, but there's a lot of digital effects and rhythms, and the most electronic effect, oddly enough, is the one that Adam Levine's voice is being dragged through. Jeez, you can hear the auto-tune and Pro Tools rendering his voice track while the song plays. There's nothing else to say. It leaves no impact. It rips off other bands' style and waters it down to the point of being worthless.
50 years from now, I hope there's like history classes on the success of music, and when people see that this album was one of the most successful of 2012, everyone has that collective yearbook moment, you know, when you look at it and go, oh, what were they thinking? I think the song Love Somebody illustrates my biggest problem with Maroon 5. Adam Levine can sing very well with his natural voice, but he chooses not to and uses this digitized garbage.
Listen to his voice. There could have been so much more emotion and natural flow on this track if it didn't have this mixed-in vocal design. Forget the watered-down Coldplay comparisons. These songs are hindered by design choices. They weren't supposed to have meaning or reflect a person's ability. They were made to be background noise. Bland music meant to get in your head and then put in the background of everything else in your life. Faint electronic beats and music that a 17-year-old can make in Fruity Loop software. The lyric writing has now gotten to being repetitive, and even repeating the same lines or wearing that Coldplay knockoff sound into the ground. This song is 4 minutes of nothing. Does that mean it wasn't as successful? Of course not. This song went 2 times platinum in the United States. For no reason. I can't think of one time anyone has ever mentioned Love Somebody as the pinnacle of Maroon 5. But 2 billion people paid for this track alone.
That 10-second clip you just heard? That's it. That's all you need. This is the proof that Maroon 5 sold out not only as a rock band or a pop rock, because that's what they truly were, but they sold out as musicians altogether.
You see this? It's a picture of Maroon 5 in 2012. You see all these people around Adam Levine in this photo? They're band members. It doesn't matter in this song though, because they might as well have taken the day off while Kenny, the audio engineering intern, whipped this up while Adam Levine sang into a tin can. Seriously, this is a song by a band of no genre. This digitized guitar solo that sounds like it was made by pushing the home row on a keyboard? Not by a real band. These garbage lyrics and terrible slow droning rhythm? Not by a real band. This is on an album that sold millions of copies around the world. I know I'm getting repetitive with that point, but this song is on an album that charted in dozens of countries. How? I can honestly say that the quality of this already bland and cheesy album with an obsession for mixing would have been better if this song wasn't on it. Lady Killer drags it down another full notch.
Not one person in that recording studio, which according to Wikipedia and all the music history notes, said that must have been about 300 people. Not one person involved in making Overexposed listened to this song as a final product and went, yeah, let's just scrap it. I mean, come on, we don't need it.
How the future will go. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not a fortune teller.
No joke, when I was listening to this over and over again for making this video, I have not been that bored listening to any song in a long time.
It's lazy. Levine sounds monotone and barely raises his voice for maybe a few seconds out of over 3 minutes. The chorus line is terrible, and the music is an awful static bass beat. Remember when I talked about Lady Killer and it made the whole album worse for including it? Well, this song does nothing but stretch out the runtime. They might as well have added white noise. I had to go through this song several additional times because I kept nodding off and losing focus. In my top 5 worst albums of 2018 video, I said that 30 Seconds to Mars were lazy with the album America. Well, that is a prog metal masterpiece compared to the song Fortune Teller. Here's a picture of a fortune teller. That's all I could add to this discussion. The song offers nothing, so why should I offer more? Song sad to a chef who had the ingredients to make a good soup, but instead of using what he knows would complement his skills and yield a good product, he changes the main ingredients and makes you wish it was better. The analogy here is that if Levine laid off the voice modding and mixing and just gave a deep singing performance with the piano, this would have worked.
I wanted to make a witty joke about how this is ripping off The Scientist by Coldplay with a piano and somber notes, but Coldplay's been ripped off enough in this album. They don't deserve to keep being associated with Maroon 5.
Adam Levine did an interview with MTV back then saying that this is his most personal track on Overexposed. Didn't say why though, or what inspired it. It just is. So, yeah, that's it. In some of these successful albums I do on Regretting the Past that were a smash success, you'll usually get one song to pique interest a little bit after tracks of garbage. But here, the song Sad comes after several tracks that are just off-putting or shameless rip-offs of bad decisions. In this case, there was something that could have been 1,000 times better if they stopped to think about how they were making the song.
Instead, they focused on fashion shoots and profile photos and touring and advertising and facials and manicures and their hair and pretty much anything else but the music. Selling out takes a lot of work.
Makes me fall apart. Your perfect little body makes me fall apart.
Wasting my life with this garbage that could be Kids Bop material one day, if the lyrics weren't too dark, but Kids Bop's probably okay with that by now.
The dance floor bass drop and crap lyrics. Oh, these awful, cheesy, lame, PG-13 coming-of-age movie lyrics. Levine sounds like a robot again, but hey, at least the song has a rhythm. This is lactose intolerant inducing levels of cheese with the writing and hammy sound design though, but at least there was some direction here. I want to say this could have had some of that funk vibe they had in their pop rock days in the mid-2000s, but it's more of an attempted disco and 2000s dance music mixed together. And then they commit the awful crime of using la-las as actual lyrics.
Slumming in at number 2 are songs that try to pass off la-las, na-nas, and doot-doos as legit lyrics.
Na na la la la. Hey hey do do do.
Homestar Runner was way ahead of their time.
Baby, you got me doing dirt, doing dirt, doing dirt.
The name of the song is Doing Dirt. I refuse to make a crude joke about that because it's just not worth it.
Adam Levine likes doing dirt, eh? Well, I guess you know what that means he likes to do.
Get out of here!
Haha! Happy to help, best friend!
It's back to the point where nothing resembling a band is in the music, let alone a former rock band. It follows that pop and almost disco style from Tickets, but much more obnoxious and unlevel. The synth keyboard notes really take you out of it. This is the type of song you would hear with the Max on the jukebox on a Saved by the Bell episode. And just like the laugh track in Saved by the Bell and it isn't real laughter, the music in Doing Dirt doesn't sound like real instruments are being played. Even if electronic dance pop is your thing and you are solely in it for the rhythm, I still don't see how you wouldn't choose 1,000 other songs in this style, especially considering the vocals, and that Doing Dirt has more cheeseball lyrics. And in the name of the song is called Doing Dirt.
Over 1 million people in the United States bought an album that has the song Doing Dirt in it. Ugh. So... Wow, a real guitar!
I remember your eyes were so bright when I first met you.
Levine sounds so much better here. It's still a bit digital in the mixing, but this song has so much more of a natural flow. I'm kind of stunned that a song like this is one on the same album as Fortune Teller and Doing Dirt. If the rest of this album had the same level of sound and emotion and not this electro-pop, disco-esque Coldplay ripoff garbage, then Maroon 5 could have done a lot more, and this album in hindsight would have standed the test of time much better. And the entire sellout argument from Rock wouldn't be that strong either. This album runs 42 minutes across 12 tracks, and I know they try to write music that'll last the test of time. Well, this one did not. I can honestly say that there was merit in about 2 songs total, maybe 3 looking back, and all I can think about is how many people were a part of writing the music, how much atrocious over-mixing and production made the songs worse, and how Adam Levine not only wrote some pretty weak songs, but he wasted his singing talent.
To further explain why I said that, Adam Levine can sing well. His natural voice is solid.
Earlier this month was the huge Chris Cornell tribute show in Los Angeles. He sang the song Seasons at the show and it was amazing. When it's him stripped away from voice mods and the same dance beats, he's great. The problem? This is a rare occurrence as time has gone on.
His performance with Stone at the I Am the Highway tribute show was excellent. All of the performances really were for that Chris Cornell show. So I kind of get why he would be a good vocal coach, why he's on The Voice for that too. But there's the problem. He doesn't apply any of that in these Maroon 5 albums.
The reason we should regret Maroon 5 and an album like Overexposed is because it proves that a band can sell out to make poorly mixed, looped music with cliché love lyrics written 1,000 times before, and that band can make millions of dollars off of it just because of good looks and advertising. The original fans of Maroon 5 in the early 2000s deserved better. Pop rock fans deserve better. Pop and electronic dance music fans deserve better. Even soccer moms deserve better.
And you know who else deserved better? Chris Martin. He got ripped off worse than anyone in this album. I mean, bad. It's like Adam Levine was trying to be Chris Martin. Might as well give him what he wants.
What screeching dingus decided to give these guys the Super Bowl? Hello?
Hey Crash, I need to talk to you about Maroon 5 really quick.
Really? What a coinky dink. Why? What's up?
Just listen, you know how they ripped off Coldplay a ton, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, if I were Chris Martin, I would have sued a long time ago.
Right, well, I think Adam Levine might actually want to be Chris Martin, you know?
You know, you might be onto something there. Leads a band that branched out into megastardom, sound changed drastically from their very beginnings. You have a point.
Since he wants to be Chris Martin, I was wondering, can you make a few Photoshop edits involving Adam Levine and Chris Martin?
Yeah, I think I can accommodate you. Just hold that thought for me, alright?
Rock music is nowhere, really. I don't know where it is if it's around. No one's invited me to the party. Rock music is nowhere, really. I don't know where it is if it's around. No one's invited me to the...
And that was a regretful look at Overexposed. What do you think about Maroon 5? Leave a comment and let everyone know. Huge thanks to my patrons who support Rot and keep the channel going. You too can help support Rot and get perks by checking out the Patreon link in the YouTube card and the description below. Please subscribe, it helps out a ton to get noticed on YouTube search rankings, and you'll be notified when I post album reviews. You can check out my concert photography on Instagram, and you can keep up to date with Rocked on Facebook and Twitter.